Hey everybody, welcome to Back Issue Some Sound.
I'm Ethan. And I'm Ben.
Hey, Deadpool is coming out. Deadpool 2, that is.
Yeah.
And I am very, very excited because, as I understand it, I'd heard a rumor that Deadpool 2 was shit. And then I heard it was awesome.
Yeah.
So that, if you average them, means it's going to be pretty good.
Based on the first movie, I'm excited.
Right. Exactly. I mean, yeah.
I feel like every movie that's anticipated, there's a rumor that it sucks and a rumor that it's actually not bad.
But don't worry, because about a week and a half before the movie actually comes out, you'll get the Rotten Tomatoes freshness rating in the trailer itself.
And then, a day before it comes out, I'll get tweeted all the spoilers about it.
Yeah, you
So-
just have to stay off Twitter.
That's my
Twitter.
plan.
Yeah.
You want to take that again?
No.
No, leave it. Leave it.
All right. I thought instead of talking about, like, Rob Liefeld's Deadpool or some other ridiculous thing, I'd do this episode of Deadpool versus the Punisher, written by Fred Van Lente.
Okay.
It's just a fun little story that came out about a year ago.
Even the concept of it sounds fun.
Yeah, it's two murderers trying to murder each other.
Right.
How could you go wrong?
And one of them can't be killed.
Yeah.
That's
So
how you could go
it's
wrong.
really just... So Deadpool kills Punisher is what it should be called.
Right.
It's not.
At the end of this
because
book, Punisher loses.
That's
what
just
should
it.
That's
be-
the lesson.
Deadpool should be badass enough where even the Punisher cannot kill him,
Yeah.
no matter how hard he tries. But because he's invulnerable, Punisher also cannot kill him, but he's like tearing off limbs and blowing things apart.
I kind of really would like to see this executed by Garth Ennis because of how bloody and horrifying it would be. Instead, it's by Fred Van Lente, who did a nice job. His version of Frank Castle's not mine, but I
He
still
did a good
dig
job. It's a pat on the back, but you don't get 2 thumbs up.
It's not that, certainly. But it is cool. And it is not a straight up, like, AVP bullshit fest where it sucks, and the whole impetus behind it is just to see them fight. There's a story in here. It's a story that is generated entirely by Van Lente, and would not exist if it weren't for the premise that he was obviously tasked for writing.
Right.
But it's still pretty fun.
But it works, you're saying.
It's hinged on an actual story. It's not just like, so Deadpool looked at Punisher cross-eyed and now, whoa! And he pulls out all the stops. Like, no, there's like, they are going to accomplish a goal.
Okay.
And it's not like the Great Race where they're both trying to accomplish like the same goal through different ends.
Oh, like trying to
would be
kill
lame.
like one person and like they're trying to beat each other to the punch. So they
No,
have to
thankfully
kill
it's
each other.
not
Oh my
that.
God.
That would be
That'd be very disappointing.
frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead,
Well, that's a cop out. That's just easy.
yes, exactly. So the story is that the story opens with this this club called Club Versus, and the club is basically just like Marvel loves to do like the seedy underbelly that is also a metatextual reflection of the Marvel universe.
Okay.
So like this is a club where ne'er-do-wells go to place bets on televised superhero fights. And I don't mean like Civil Wars. I just mean like, so it's Boomerang versus Iron Fist, and it's like 20 thou on Iron Fist. Except I see these villains or just gangsters putting money on the villains.
And you're like, no.
It's Scorpion versus Spider-Man. They're like, oh, my man Scorpion's, I'm feeling good tonight. I'm like, you should not.
Because he's never gonna win.
He never does. He's never won.
But one day those odds will pay off.
Like, and what is the structure of the betting here? Like, is it
Right.
just for the length of the televised fight? Like, if Scorpion gets the upper hand and like, well, back to you in the studio, they're like, oh, technically Scorpion won for as long as he was on television, and so it wins. Like, because otherwise, they never win.
I have a different question. What if no one's fighting? It's not like this
Oh,
is
no.
prearranged.
At Club Versus, there's always a fight going on. Because there's so many superheroes. There's always a fight.
Right. Someone's always fighting somewhere in the world.
That's right. So we're at Club Versus, and there's this bouncer that the club owner's talking to. It's obviously the Punisher. But let's pretend that we don't obviously know it's the Punisher for a little while. As the club owner
He's not wearing his shirt with the giant skull.
It's just,
right?
it's a dude that is conspicuously out of frame. We don't
Yep.
see his face through most of the book, or most of this chapter.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's not horrifically burned, so...
Well, we don't know.
Well, we
But
see, like, his back and certain things.
we're in a club full of bad guys.
Yeah.
And we're talking to a guy whose face we don't see.
Yeah.
It's the Punisher. But this guy is the club owner is this like complete douche who's obviously played by the guy from Die Hard. Like, I love the attention to detail that the colorist does, where they're like, put some cocaine on his nose, and he's bragging to the new bouncer about how great everything's going at Club Versus, and how awesome he is, and how he's like, also, I moonlight on Sundays as a DJ. Maybe you've heard of me. And it's like, no. And by the way, one of the stipulations of Club Versus is, if you are coming to Club Versus, you must check your weapon. And the coat check bouncer guy is the Punisher.
Sure.
Lol. So Punisher takes everybody's weapons, he puts them in the cage where the weapons are being kept, and you see like a couple of neat things like katanas and Uzis and
chainsaw.
Right, chainsaws. And so the DJ is talking to him about how awesome things are here, and then Punisher just starts like opening fire on everybody.
Well then.
And he does this thing where he's
he's wearing a shirt.
Oh yeah, no, he's wearing underneath the coat that he had closed or slightly closed. Maybe the club owner thought that he was wearing it ironically.
Yeah.
I would never take that bet.
Or it was backwards, and then he like reverses it.
It's a lot of work. Yeah, boss. Hang on a second.
Oh, that's a... Oh no!
So he starts opening fire at everybody. The DJ club owner manages to get away long enough to hide behind a wall while he just executes every person who's like cowering away from him.
Jesus.
And so he finally approaches the club owner, and he shoves a barrel into the guy's mouth, and the guy's trying to tell Frank something. He's like, "Oh," and he's like, "I don't understand you." And he's like, "Oh," he's like, "I still don't get it. Maybe you should write it down." And he hands him a pad of paper, like, is Frank this sadistic? Yeah, kinda. Fred Van Lente actually said in an interview a while back that his favorite version of the Punisher is the Garth Ennis, Steve Dillon, Welcome Back Frank, Marvel Knights version of Frank.
Oh,
not
the
Marvel
very
Max.
dark version.
No, Marvel Max is like the Garth Ennis, holy shit, Steve Dillon. But before... Okay, so Frank died. He was executed by the state. And then God came to him, and he's like, hey, we need you and your like skills. Nobody in heaven knows how to kill like you do. So we're going to bring you back to life, send you onto Earth, and give you these special weapons that shoot light, and they kill demons because Earth is plagued with them. And so you're going to be like a demon Punisher for heaven, because Marvel ran out of ideas. The House of Ideas completely ran out of them.
For that's insane.
And they were just like, try this. And that sucked.
What? You're telling me that was a bad idea?
I've tried to do it, but you know what's funny? That book is so out of print, I can't find it
That's like
anywhere.
Shitty Constantine.
Yes. Yeah, I can imagine the guys at Marvel going,
idea.
You know, this Constantine guy, he seems pretty on the ball. Let's do that. But with Punisher. Only Constantine fights like magic stuff. It's like the movie with Keanu Reeves, if it weren't called Constantine, would be fucking awesome. And still kind of is. I've noticed that it's kind of gained some cult status. People really dig that movie. And I do too. And I remember when I first saw it, I'm like, this movie's really cool. Then I read Hellblazer. I'm like, oh, that's supposed to be Sting. And he's supposed to be British. And it's not all religion.
No.
Like, Constantine in the movie is just like, it's this religious guy. It's all about, like, Judeo-Christian mythology. It's like, no, Constantine, like, fights, like, magic stuff.
Yeah.
It's like Hellboy and, well, but pre-Hellboy. But it's a lot of different ideas.
Well, it's tons of different stuff. It's not just God.
No, it's all cultures and all magic stuff. So there's a lot there. But that movie is still dope. And if it weren't called Hellblazer or Constantine, it would still be awesome.
I mean...
Because you could literally just repackage it and be like, your name's this. Steve.
Yeah, it doesn't detract from the movie, but it doesn't fulfill the title.
No, it's not Hellblazer, the adaptation, unfortunately, in any way. Yeah. But apparently Reeves was a big fan. So he was like, I want to make this movie. And they're like, all right.
All right, so what is written down on this pad of paper?
I can bring you the bank.
And give you the bank.
Right.
What bank?
I'm guessing the bankroll, like the people that are supplying?
Yeah, stuff? The bank is a nickname for this infamous money launderer, whom Fred Van Lente invents for the story. Okay. And the bank is like, he launders all the money for like everybody. Mm-hmm. Like the kingpin.
All crime. All big crime.
Practically all crime.
Yeah.
Which would destabilize the entire criminal underbelly of the Marvel Universe.
Right.
If what happens in the story happens in the story. But let's forget that for a little while. Just enjoy this fun crossover.
Sure.
So the bank is just, there's this dude. He launders all the money for like the Kingpin. From the Kingpin to Roxxon to the Serpent Society and Deadpool.
And Deadpool?
Yes.
Wait,
Okay.
why Deadpool?
When does Deadpool get like money that he needs laundered?
Well, Deadpool is a mercenary. That's his tip. That's his actual
right, and he
vocation.
gets paid by unsavory figures, and he needs to clean up the money.
Precisely.
Why would he have to clean up the money? It's not like he's paying taxes. He's Deadpool.
No, but he's getting paid by probably like criminals and stuff.
Yes.
So
it could
They
be
don't
like
want.
marked.
Yeah, they don't want their money tracked.
Yeah.
So
it's already been laundered. That's the thing. They launder the money, like the bad guys launder it. So technically, it's already clean. So when he gets it, he doesn't have to launder it again.
in any case, Deadpool is friends with the bank.
Uh-huh.
The bank has been helping out Deadpool since pre-Weapon X.
Okay.
So, the bank is a good friend of Deadpool's.
Gotcha.
And it just so happens that Deadpool is at the bank's house, which is on, a special private island off the coast of Long Island.
Okay.
All right. So, Deadpool is there, and he's watching a highlights reel of him fighting a Mexican crime boss who's also a supervillain named
Dawn of the Dead. Okay.
because he's the Don.
He's the Dawn.
But his whole
shtick
is Dia de los Muertos.
Yes.
So he looks like a skeleton guy. We're gonna have a couple of people in this book whose theme is skeletons.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
it mirrors Punisher.
yeah. Well, there's Punisher. There's Dawn of the Dead. There's another character who shows up who's also skull themed. Regrettably, it's not Ghost Rider.
Or Crossbones.
Nor Crossbones. Nor the Red Skull. Deadpool and the bank are hanging out, and they're watching a highlight reel of Deadpool kicking the shit out of Dawn of the Dead.
Uh-huh.
And he's yucking it up, and he's having chips and whatnot. And the bank is just this older man.
Just a guy.
Yeah, he's just this guy. But he has a trophy wife who is not an Olympic gold medalist, but an Olympic bronze medalist.
Okay.
And she...
Oh, he couldn't buy her gold.
She earns it through her swimming.
Oh, actually.
Yeah, she's a legitimate gold medalist or bronze medalist, but she's very good at what she does, which is swim.
Yeah.
And we see that illustrated in their private swimming pool, where she is, of course, swimming.
Right.
But they also have a kid
who's wearing a Deadpool mask.
Yeah, the kid is a huge fan of Deadpool.
That's great.
I mean, he's a kid. Who wouldn't be?
And because the bank and Deadpool have known each other forever, this
Right.
kid has known Deadpool his entire life, and so he calls him Uncle Deadpool.
All right.
So
you can see where the conflict is going to show up.
Oh,
in the
do
book.
you?
Yeah.
Have you figured it out yet? So, Punisher breaks into the bank's house while Deadpool's there, and he is discovered while he's leafing through the guy's finances, trying to find the account numbers for all of his criminal activities, by the nanny, who's also like an ex-Israeli fighter.
Uh-huh.
And so she and Frank fight, and he's like, she is pretty good. And then
But I'm
slams
the
her
Punisher.
head into the fucking desk.
Yeah.
And so
he does kill the guy from the club, though, right? After he got the information?
No. No, he needs information from him.
Okay.
He's going to keep using him.
At least
At least
for
for the
next few pages
duration
of
of this
this
book.
Yeah.
precisely. So while Punisher and the bodyguards are fighting, word gets out from the screams to the bank and Deadpool that shit is going down. In fact, I believe someone just shouts out, "It's the Punisher!" And so...
that is a poop shitting, like a pants shitting moment.
Yes, for anyone in the criminal
It's
element.
the Punisher! Okay.
Deuced.
Done. Well, it'll be easier this way.
Yeah. So I love it because Deadpool just goes, "Frank's here? Oh, should we offer him some dip?" And the banker's like, "No, go kill him." And Deadpool's
What's
like,
wrong with
"No,
you?"
you've got guys." And then he hears like the last guy died. He's like, "Fine, I'll go deal with him because we're friends and I'll help you out." So then he goes to fight the Punisher.
I'm not happy about it, though.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's more like,
Well, he's like, you're gonna get some free mark work out of me?
yeah. He's like, "Look, I don't do this
be
for
over
free.
when this happens?
It's the Punisher. It's not going to be an easy fight."
Right.
So the mom is like, "The Punisher's here. It's all over.
Right.
Forget it.
You're gonna die.
You're going to die. The whole thing's coming down." She grabs her kid and she runs out for the boat
Okay.
to make her getaway.
Sure.
She's like, "No, he wants you." I'm going.
Look, I may be married to you,
Right.
but I am not part of your
I'm
business.
about to be a widower.
I am a
So,
bronze
goodbye.
medalist.
Yes.
So I'm taking care of our child.
Yeah, so she goes, she gets on the boat while Punisher and Deadpool are fighting, and she gets on the boat, she starts it up, and the boat explodes.
Oh shit!
And the implication is that Punisher rigged the boat.
Rigged the boat to explode.
So you're like, oh shit. So Punisher makes
That's
his
the
getaway.
implication, though.
Yes, that's the implication.
Why would it?
Why would you think otherwise?
Yeah.
He didn't.
Oh.
Punisher's being set up.
Oh.
So, well, kind of. It's more like Punisher gets the rap for what happened.
Right.
But in any case, Punisher bails during the distraction of the explosion. And so...
He's like, oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Well, he's also been shot a couple times.
Oh, he and Deadpool completely like go into each other, and it's pretty cool, but it's not nearly as visceral as it will become.
Right.
The Punisher, he takes a lick and he keeps on ticking, but it's pretty bad. So he goes to his safe house, and his safe house is completely stripped bare. It's empty, and it's covered in blood. And he's like, "What the fuck?" And then Deadpool reveals himself, and he's like, "Hey, I figured out where your hideout is. I'm gonna get you because you killed this kid that I care about, and his mother, who's a friend of mine.
Sure.
You scumbag." And Punisher's like, "How did you even get in here? Like, how'd you get through the defenses?" And Deadpool's like, "I didn't. I just walked through them because I have a healing factor."
Right.
"Oh no, I look like terrible." He's completely shredded.
Yeah.
And
rather than denying it, he just goes, "How did you get here?"
Yeah, because Punisher doesn't care.
Yeah.
At one point,
I don't have to defend myself to you.
Yes, and in fact, Frank is accused of doing it, and they're like, "You didn't even care," and he's like, "No, you don't understand. I do care. I just don't let it stop me." And you're like, fair enough.
Yeah.
So Deadpool reveals that he knows Frank's hideout because they both buy the same, like, really hard to get bullets. And so Deadpool hit up the supplier and found the shipping address and went there.
Okay.
That's how you move ahead.
There's a little bit of extra, information.
So while they're both parlaying, Punisher shoots Deadpool in the head. And that knocks the lights out of Deadpool. When Deadpool awakens, he is strapped to the passenger seat of one of Punisher's battle vans.
Okay.
And Punisher's driving, and Deadpool is just waking up, and what we reveal in this story is that when you shoot Deadpool through the brain, you kind of fuck up his short-term memory. So when Deadpool wakes up, he, of course, makes his patented Deadpool hilarity, where he's like, "I had the craziest dream," and he recounts a Golden Girls episode. He's like, "Oh, it wasn't a dream, it was a Golden Girls episode. And it was a dream because that's such a great show," and blah, blah, blah. And it's important that I mention it because it is a plot point that comes up later. That's right.
Don't tell me they both watch Golden Girls.
No.
Okay, good.
But the plot of a Golden Girls episode is an important key moment in this story.
So if you know how that episode ends, you know... Okay.
Oh, no. It's simply the episode that Deadpool recounts is important.
Okay.
I like that detail that if you get shot through the brain, like, it fucks up his memory.
Yeah. So Frank takes full advantage of that, where he's just like, there's some bad people, they screwed up your friend, they took his wife and son, and we're gonna go, and they think that we killed them, and so there's a hit on us.
Okay.
So we've got to find them and stop this.
Okay.
And Deadpool's like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense. Why am I strapped to this seat?" And Frank's like, "Oh, because we were going over some rough terrain, and I didn't want you to fall out of your seat while you were unconscious." And Deadpool's like, "Oh, that makes sense."
What?
So they happen upon this stronghold, which is, I believe it is it's on the border between U.S. and Mexico, but it's like no man's land.
Okay.
And it's a place where like people go to disappear and get new identities and stuff.
Okay.
So they're going to storm that area and screw and kick some ass. So now we got and so you think we're going to get Deadpool and Punisher teaming up, but Punisher's like, "I'm going in there, I'm going to get my information." Deadpool's like, "Don't you want me to come with you?" And he's like, "No." So Deadpool's like, "Okay."
Kaboom.
Right? It would be great, but no, he just leaves him in there. So while Punisher storms this location, Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin, calls up the bank. And the bank is draining his pool and getting some important document from underneath the pool. He keeps it under the pool. But Kingpin calls up. Yeah, and Kingpin calls up while he's performing a mob hit. Like, Kingpin and some goons are driving this car to the middle of nowhere. There's some people in the trunk. He shoots the people in the trunk, and then they set the car on fire. That's what's happening during the conversation that Fisk is having with the bank. And Fisk is basically like, "I heard the Punisher came to your house and fucked some shit up. So
I'm going to need all my money."
Well, I'm going to need you to assure me, like, listen, more sympathetic I could not be for you regarding the Punisher. He is a problem. I've had to deal with him myself. He's your problem. you're going to have to go deal with it. And if you don't, I'm going to pull my money and I'm going to ruin you. Like, like physically.
Right.
So he's like, fair enough, okay. And while he's talking to Fisk, his bodyguard is calling about how, like, Roxxon is on the line and they want to pull all their money. And he's like, tell them that it's a Jewish holiday or something. Like, tell them that I'm on a more important... Don't tell them I'm on a more important call, but, like, stall them. And she's like, they're threatening my whole family. And he's like, I could not care less. Later, of course, Banker actually kills her. Like, he just shoots her.
Oh.
He's a dick.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The nanny?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Who's on the phone with Roxxon. But, yeah. We don't get to see the Kingpin anymore, but, like, it's just illustrating how fucked this guy is.
Yeah.
So then we see...
If the Kingpin ever calls you, you're pretty much screwed.
Yes. He's never calling to check up. Like, legitimately.
So how are you doing?
Oh, good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, I know you were having some problems recently. I just, want to make sure that everything's okay.
Oh, thank you. Like, yeah, no. I would not take that call.
I did that once.
Right?
That person committed suicide. I'm never doing that again.
Exactly. So, of course, the mom and the son are not dead.
Ah.
She faked her own death.
Okay. Clever.
Ooh.
So she knew this was going to happen?
I'm assuming she had the boat rigged.
Well, you see, the fact is, the club owner is the bank's wife's brother.
Okay.
So he tipped her off to the Punisher
the
going.
Punisher was going to, yeah.
So DJ, whatever the hell, tells Punisher about the bank, but he's like, hey, listen, the Punisher's coming. You got to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Right.
So she faked her own death to escape the Punisher.
And a brilliant scenario to do so because she's an Olympic swimmer.
Yes.
Yeah,
so what happened was she had like a thing on and she put her son on her back and she swam to shore.
Okay.
She reveals this, or rather Frank does, when he corners her in the bathroom of this building. So she goes and she's getting her identity and she's got this like hard drive clipped to her bag and you're like, oh, that's all the accounts and everything. I see what's going on here. She took this as collateral to get out of here, or maybe as some kind of a bargaining chip.
Or maybe to drain the bank accounts and use to live the rest of her life.
Yeah,
right?
to be rich.
Who knows what her plan is, but she is getting her new identity from this guy named Dawn of the Dead.
I thought Deadpool killed him.
No, he just kicked his...
He fought him.
He fought him.
Oh, okay.
And he also gave him a wedgie. This comes into play later. So
of course it does.
But it's great because like she's given 2 passports, a British one and a Liberian one. And I love the Liberian passport because it's got a picture of Dr. Doom on the front. And
welcome.
He's like, you get to pick which one you want to do, and go into the bathroom, put on your new identities, and get ready. So she's in the bathroom. She's trying to decide which wig she wants to wear, and Frank's like, "Hi,
yo,
I didn't know you did this, but I figured it out, and now I'm here, and
right.
So I'm gonna need those accounts,
right?
And I won't kill you and everything, but still gonna need that information.
Yeah, that's
and of course
dirty money.
The brother's there with them. The brother helped her get out of Dodge.
Yeah. Okay.
And so he hears Frank talking to his sister, so he like gets his gun out and he's like, "I'm gonna kill the Punisher."
I'm gonna kill Frank Castle.
Just like,
no, you're not.
No, you're not.
Well, everyone thinks that. And to be fair, if you think you have the drop on him,
right?
Yeah, you might
want to take the shot. He's a regular guy.
Yeah.
He's a human being.
Right. So he tries to kill the Punisher and fails, and then Dawn of the Dead and his goons bust in and shoot him and kill him. And he's like, and she goes, "Hey, whoa, we had a deal." And he's like, "Oh, no, we did have a deal. Until I heard about all this."
Right.
And I know that, Frank's here. I know that Deadpool is involved, and I need to get my revenge on Deadpool. Dawn of the Dead, by the way, has a hilarious accent.
Of course.
It's like, I'm gonna kill him.
Does he say son of a bitch?
He might as well.
Killing his wife and kid,
If only he could teach this kid.
Oh my god, now I'm just going to hear Cartman's voice the rest of the episode.
He basically has that cat, but he goes, "You don't understand, I got to get revenge against the Deadpool. He gave me the wedgie." Which is kind of Italian now.
Yeah.
Screw it.
What nationality is?
Right, no, he's Mexican.
Okay.
He's like, "He gave me the wedgie."
So he gets the drop on Frank.
Yeah.
Because he's got Frank with his hands up now.
That's right, yeah. So the tables keep turning.
Terrible.
This crappy villain. This one-off character, yes.
Yeah.
So he's like, "I'm gonna get him." And then Deadpool drives a speedboat on top of everybody.
Oh. Yeah,
I thought he was strapped up.
Well, he chewed.
crashes
He mentions later that he chewed through his bindings.
Oh, I see. He crashes through like a second-story window with a boat somehow.
Yes, and they don't flashback to tell you how he does this.
Right. All right.
Oh,
it's just crazy that he's got a boat.
How would you expect this? It's Deadpool.
You didn't see that boat coming inside a building.
Nope.
is there even a marina
Or any setup for that?
anything?
No.
Because it's between the U.S. and Mexico.
Hashtag lol so random. But he does get to yell land boat as he crashes into them.
Well, there you go.
And then it's great because Dawn of the Dead's like, "Oh, Deadpool, you're here. I'm gonna fuck you up because you know why? It's not just because of the wedgie. It's because you keep yelling about my nationality's food. You keep yelling about the chimichangas. Well, how would you like it if I yelled about the food that you are known for? Hot Pockets, Malamars."
Okay, that doesn't really bother me.
No, and by the way, they're yelling these things, and Frank's like, "What book am I in?"
Yeah, what the fuck?
Why?
He says, "What is even happening?" After he says Hot Pockets.
Yes.
Hot Pockets! What is even happening?
What is even happening? Like,
Fluffernutters, El Whopper with the special sauce.
yeah. Are you having fun yet? So,
To be honest, yes.
right? I mean, it's a pretty fun book, and it's a very kinetic read. You're just like things are always happening. It's like a Michael Bay movie. Every 5 pages, you gotta have an explosion.
Ooh,
So
that sounds like a blockbuster right there.
it's true, yeah. And sometimes people want to watch those.
Yep.
I mean, Deadpool gives him like the business, and Don keeps like screwing him up. He's got a sword or a foil, really,
Uh-huh.
and he's like stabbing him and whatnot. And then Frank comes up behind him and he gives him a wedgie
Oh,
Why doesn't he just kill him?
because he needed to get the element of surprise. And Frank is nothing if not a fan of the irony.
Okay.
I don't like that.
You don't
I
like
can't-
that? You don't like Frank Castle giving his villain a wedgie?
None of
No.
this makes any sense because, like, Frank, there's a jeep driving toward Frank Castle.
Yeah,
with
well,
dudes,
his
and
goons
then-
jump into the jeep and they
then-
got like a Gatling gun on the top, and so
Right.
they're like, "Oh, we got to bring out the big guns."
right, and then he kills them, and
Right.
then the Dawn of the Dead stabs Deadpool with a sword.
Yeah.
and then Frank is behind him and gives him a wedgie.
Yeah, he kills
and
those
then-
guys, then he
and then
sneaks
they're
up behind
both
Don.
behind barrels while guys are on the other side of the room
Yeah.
shooting at them.
Yeah.
And then suddenly Deadpool's right next to 2 of them. Like, what is happening?
It was
How-
directed by Christopher Nolan.
No,
It's an
'cause I can
incomprehensible
I can
action
see
sequence.
entire bodies in
Oh,
the
that's
shot.
true. Yeah, no, you
And
need
there's
to
a
have-
wide shot here, so it
Oh.
can't be.
He does. Well, no, because he tries to avoid those whenever possible. Because if you do the wide shot, sometimes when you have your hero fighting your guys, you'll see one of those guys just fall for no reason.
What?
So anyway, Deadpool cuts these guys like entrails
Yeah.
out in one of the most gory panels of the entire book, which
Yeah.
is surprising.
Yeah, it's like randomly,
I
suddenly.
also find it interesting that their organs explode out of their bodies, but the blood does not come with it.
No.
In any event, Deadpool addresses the mom and her son. He's like,
They're
"Hey,
alive.
you're still alive. This is great." And she's like, "I don't want to have anything to do with you or the bank or Punisher. Like, I just want to get out of here."
Right.
And she makes a reference to an event that happened that Deadpool doesn't remember. And this is the first thing that triggers Deadpool going like, "Why don't I remember stuff?" So he doesn't have too long to think about that because he then... Okay, so Dawn of the Dead had arranged transport for the mom and the son originally via helicopter. And so when they were when Don betrayed them, he had kind of canceled the helicopter plans, but there was still a helicopter on the roof waiting for them.
Okay.
So Deadpool sneaks those two onto their originally planned helicopter.
Okay.
And he says, "Don't tell me where you're going to go. I don't need to know. I just want to get you guys out of here." So he gets them on the helicopter and he saves them.
Okay.
And they leave. And then Frank's like, "Hey, where are the two?" And Deadpool's like, "I saved them, and I don't even know where they are, so no one can torture me or get any information from me. Like, I don't."
Isn't that great?
Isn't that great?
Didn't I do
And
a
then-
good job?
And then Frank shoots him in the head. He says, "Let's try this again." He takes off his mask and replaces it with a stack of other Deadpool masks that he has that don't have bullet holes in them.
So he just keeps resetting Deadpool.
Yes.
Yep. Damn it.
Yeah, this is the hard reboot.
Yeah. So then Deadpool awakens in yet another battle van, but this time they're, I think, in the Swiss Alps.
Oh, and he's
And-
not strapped down.
No, because Frank knows that this works. So
Right.
they're driving through this like snowy tundra, and they're being chased by what looks like representatives of three or four different secret villain organizations. You've got like the dudes who fought Wolverine during the whole Hellfire Club incident. You've got a hand ninja. You've got a member of Mr. Negative's gang.
Is he waking up again at this point and recounting another
Golden
Girls thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. Those are the only two references to Golden Girls outside of the next, of the final reference.
Right.
But in any event, they're fighting, and Punisher's driving the van, and he's like, "You guys make yourself useful and go kill these guys."
Right.
So Deadpool's like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it. Let's do it." And Deadpool's like, "This is fun. I'm having a great time. I'm in the battle van." And Frank's like, "Is it?" He's like, "Is this the battle van?" Because Punisher had a battle van. It was that Punisher had originally. Well, not originally, but in the 90s, he had like this cool van. It was like the Turtle van, but it had a fat nerd in it instead named Microchip. And he used to run information for Frank.
Right. Instead of a pizza thrower, it had like machine guns.
Precisely.
You mean it was effective?
Yeah. And so Deadpool's making reference to that era of the Punisher when he had a battle van.
Okay.
And Frank makes like the only kind of quips where he's like, "I have a fleet of them." This is not the battle van.
Right.
This is a battle van.
A battle van.
That's why I can risk getting rid of them.
Right.
So Deadpool has a cool action sequence where he just like fucks up people and kills them.
I do really enjoy the fact that during this Deadpool versus Punisher book, they're
team
teaming up a lot,
Yeah.
and it's believable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you buy that Frank would maybe like use Deadpool and just kind of direct him towards problems he has that he knows he probably wouldn't survive from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, at the end of every issue, there is a fight between Deadpool and Punisher, where Punisher shoots Deadpool in the face.
Yeah, it doesn't last very long, at least in the last one.
No, it never
It
does.
lasts as long as him raising the gun and shooting him in the
Yeah.
head.
Twice.
Yeah. All right.
We will see that happen later, by the way.
Right.
There will be actually a fight.
Okay.
So while Deadpool is fighting these guys and Punisher's driving the van, they're being spied upon by the Taskmaster.
Who's the Taskmaster?
The Taskmaster is a Brooklynite supervillain who has the superpower where he can look at someone fighting, and then he immediately learns their fighting style and can incorporate it into himself.
So that he can like counter their moves.
Yes.
So by now he knows everybody's
Right.
moves, right? Because he's been around for years.
Yeah, he's been around since the 80s, so yeah. But he's watching Deadpool, and he's like, yeah, been there, done that, I've seen you. Yeah, it's a very 90s move, Deadpool, good call. But he's trying to see Frank because he's never seen the Punisher fight.
Okay.
It's because the Punisher doesn't fight all that often; he just shoots them.
That's true. And the bank called and hired the Taskmaster.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I also neglected to mention that there's this like little plot point where the bank asks his son if he has practiced his maths lately.
Okay.
And it was a very like minute moment in the like all's calm scene. But now that the mom is driving with her son and they're like they're trying to get away, and Punisher of course is chasing her.
Right.
So we figured out where they went.
Oh yeah. So Punisher's chasing her, and she's got her son in the car, and he's doing like crossword puzzles and stuff, or Sudoku puzzles. Or whatnot.
Some kind of puzzle.
And he's like asking her for math problems, and she's like, "Oh, geez, I don't know." And she comes up with some like ridiculous number times another ridiculous number, and the kid's like, "Oh, that's easy. It's this," thereby sharing the information that like this kid is really good with math and numbers.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, like his superpower is that he's excellent with numbers or whatever.
Right. Like his dad.
Yeah, because his dad is like a numbers
like
cruncher
an
guy.
accounting bank person.
Yes.
Does the bank know that his wife and son are still alive?
Taskmaster's about to tell him.
Okay.
Because Taskmaster sees in the like he's watching Punisher. So Taskmaster's watching Punisher and Deadpool. But he's also watching the other car, and he looks in the window, and he's like, oh shit.
Are they trying to get away? Like they're all being chased?
Yeah.
Punisher
By
found him,
Punisher
he's
and
chasing
Deadpool
him.
and all these people.
Yes. Yeah. The bank put out a hit on the Punisher.
Right.
And the Punisher told Deadpool that the hit's out on both of them.
Right.
So these goons are chasing Punisher and Deadpool and trying to kill them. And Punisher's trying to catch the mom and the son.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Taskmaster sees that there's the mom and the son are in the car. And so he calls the bank.
And by studying her a little
he
while,
learns how to
he learns
swim.
her moves.
Yeah. No, he just calls the bank, and the bank, of course, is in like an uncomfortable shakedown on like a serpent island, I think with either the Serpent Society or some other like snake-related evil organization.
Okay.
But he's just like, hey, man, hey, Tony, what's happening? 'Cause Taskmaster's name's Tony. And he's like, hey, Tony, listen, this is kind of a bad time. What do you got for me? And Taskmaster's like, your wife and son are alive. And he's like, really? And he's like, yeah, what do you want me to do? He goes, is my son okay? And he's like, yeah, he's totally fine. He goes, okay. Priority 1 is getting my son.
Oh, he's the money launderer.
Yeah. He's like, get my son and kill my wife or don't. It doesn't matter. And Taskmaster's like, and the accounts, right? And he goes, oh, yes, of course, and the accounts. And Taskmaster says, okay, well, I'm calling a full abort. Okay, I'm going to refund your money. It's all over. I'm calling it off. And I was like, no, don't screw me over, Taskmaster's like, yeah, fuck off. Boop.
No, I'm not. I may be a supervillain, but I'm not stealing your son.
Well, Taskmaster's figured it all out. So he like calls off the goons. He calls off everything. And of course, by the way, this means that the guys, these evil organizations that were chasing Punisher and Deadpool, yeah, they stop too, because they're actually underlings of Taskmaster.
That's Taskmaster. Okay.
And so,
that's fantastic.
Everybody stops, and Taskmaster's figured it all out, and so he goes down there to deal with it himself. And the goons stop, and they're all like, "Hey, whoa, Punisher, stop!" And Punisher's like, "Stop punching!"
No.
He's like,
"What?"
And by the way, they all like. I think Punisher manages to lose his van by he's getting overwhelmed by these cars, and he's like, "Screw it." So he has a trigger called Viking Funeral, where he flips and then it explodes. So he like bails, and so he's now on foot, and he's got to fight these goons, and he's fighting them, and Taskmaster's learning his moves, and he's like, oh, like you got a little bit of this style, a little bit of that style, like okay. And so Taskmaster copies the Punisher's fighting style. Punisher's kicking the shit out of these goons, and then they get the call from Taskmaster that it's all done, and they're like, oh shit, no, Frank, stop kicking my ass. And Punisher is so confused that he stops, and they take off their masks, and they're like, hey, like, no,
contract's over.
Yeah, contract's over. We were hired to get you, but like, it's over, so we're good. We're all cool. And Punisher's like,
I imagine he'd be like, I don't care.
Punisher's like, why are you dressed like this? And they're like, oh, well, we're actually. The idea is the Taskmaster actually owns and runs a school or a number of schools, a franchisement, if you will, of supervillain training.
Okay.
Which is well established in continuity. That's what Taskmaster does. He runs a supervillain training academy.
Okay.
Because he learned all
everyone's style.
Yeah, he's like, so here's what you do. Here's how you do it.
I can teach you in any style.
He's an entrepreneur who dresses like the ghost of Christmas future. So he called off the thing, and he's like, why are you dressed like hand assassins and you know, whatever.
Well,
and they're
like Spider-Man.
Yeah. And they're all like, well, we all want to graduate from this school and work for these organizations. We're dressing for the jobs we want. So anyway, we're good.
You're supposed to do.
Yeah. So they're like, we're good. And so they leave. And then Punisher
dress for success.
We're professionals like you. And then they bail. And the Punisher shoots them all in the back. And he's like, I'm not a professional.
I mean, I am, but not for money. Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to kill you.
Yeah. So he just murders them.
Says, I'm no professional. I'm more of an enthusiast.
Yeah. That makes sense to me.
Great.
Yeah, that I'm like, that's
of course
totally
you would.
Frank.
Yeah.
So
they want to be criminals.
Yeah. Okay. He's like, no, you,
Not
only that,
that's what I do.
You were trying to kill me.
Yeah, you were trying
I don't
to kill
care
me.
if you stopped.
Right.
You were hired to kill someone.
Yeah, if Frank were attacked by like the NYPD, he would not try to assassinate
the NYPD has legitimate authority.
That's what I'm saying.
To
I'm saying
these guys do not. They are contract killers.
Yes. No, it's not like you tried to kill me once,
so I kill you.
I have to kill you.
It's just like
you're going to try to kill people.
Well, you're contract killers. Yeah, you're obviously
you're bad people.
Yeah, you're all going down. So Taskmaster gets the kid.
Okay.
And the mom is like whatever you need, I'll like just give me my son back. And he's like, no, the kid is the accounts. All the numbers, all the accounts are locked in this kid. He's the books.
Right.
I'm not gonna kill your kid.
Right.
I'm just gonna take your kid, and I promise I will give him back. But don't fuck this up, lady. Mm-hmm. And so she's like, no, I'm done. I don't want to be beholden to you or my husband or anything. So she just starts shooting at him.
What did I just say?
Yeah. So he breaks out his Captain America shield, which is just a Taskmaster shield. And he's like...
Does that have a big T on it?
Yes. And he's like, that was the wrong move. And now I'm going to bust out my fucking Captain America shield, which is like Cap's in every other way but one. And he throws it at her, and it chops off her head because it's like sharp on the outside.
Oh my god.
It's rough.
That's fucking dark.
Well, the bank said, like, I don't care if you kill her.
Yeah. So, but he's also not working for the bank anymore. He's just like, don't do this. And she's like, I
to
will.
shoot
And he's
me.
like, no, see, this is why I have a reputation.
Right.
Like, because I say what I mean. So then Frank and Deadpool catch up. And Deadpool is like, so Frank, you're full of shit. Because I have a voicemail on my phone, a number of them actually, from my friend the bank, who has hired me to catch you. There's no contract on both of us. Right. It's a contract on you. And I'm going to collect.
Hey, let me see that phone.
Yeah.
Blam. Blam.
Oh, yeah, no. So he's like, I've got the drop on you now. And then one of the dudes that Frank tried to assassinate is like, you shoot me in the back? And then he just starts opening fire and he shoots Deadpool through the back of the head.
Oh, okay.
And Frank fucking kills him. But now Deadpool is knocked out again.
Yeah, reset once again.
Reset.
All right, well, that's a little iffy.
Yeah. Oh, you mean it's a little convenient?
Yeah, that's a Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, it is very.
Now, they do credit Deadpool as the winner of round 3.
Because he does get the drop on
Frank. Because he does
Frank.
get the drop on Frank and he would have killed him. So they acknowledge that, yes, that random guy coming up and shooting him, that doesn't count.
It's not fair, yeah.
Frank lost.
Right.
But we need the book to continue.
Yes,
so
and we're not going to kill the
Deadpool
Punisher in this.
Right.
By the way, apropos killing the Punisher, Daken, when he was masquerading as Wolverine, working for the Dark Reign, a.k.a. Norman Osborn's organization Hammer, when he was contracted by Norman Osborn to kill Punisher, he did, with his adamantium claws, and just cut him to ribbons.
Oh.
And then his body was collected by a bunch of monsters in the sewers, and he was put back together in a book called Frankencastle.
Right.
Deadpool makes a reference to him as Frankencastle. And he says, I wonder why nobody refers to that anymore. And I'm like, hey,
nice.
Good call, and nice opportunity for me to segue into a card to our episode Frankencastle over Ben's head. Check it out, it's really fun. Anyway, so Deadpool wakes up and he's on a boat. And the boat is practically empty, but it's clearly occupied by people, but nobody's there.
Right, there's like food left out and stuff.
Yeah, and so it's suspicious. So Deadpool like makes his way through the boat and he discovers the boy. And he's hiding. And he's like, hey, like, what's going on? So he sits with the boy, and the kid's like, my mom's dead, and the skull person killed her, and now they're fighting. And, like, now the skull men are fighting. And Deadpool's like, this is very important. Which skull man killed your mom? And he says, like, and he, I don't know why, the kid's like 11, but he talks, but he speaks pretty normally. But when he's referring to Punisher and Taskmaster, he refers to them as the Skullmen. And when he's like, which one? He's like, the skull chest is fighting the skull face.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, just use proper nouns, please. Like, we don't need this. But he does correctly identify that Taskmaster killed his mom. And he's like, but honestly, like, both of these skull people fucked up my life, and I would really like them both to be dead.
Yeah.
And Deadpool says, like, well, that I can oblige. Meanwhile, the bank has fled to his money laundering operation, which is a converted offshore oil refinery that looks like Monticello.
I mean, at least it has a nice skylight greenhouse kind of thing.
It's like neo-Greek architecture. Yeah.
So
it looks like a mob house.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Or a bank.
Or a bank.
Like
a real bank.
Like Fort Knox.
Yeah.
So the bank is at the bank. And he's protected.
No, this is the safe.
Yeah.
Right. And he's protected by these goons who are themed for his bank.
Okay.
Helmets with a big dollar sign on them.
He's pretty much protected by Daft Punk.
Yeah.
With giant dollar signs.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so Taskmaster's coming and Punisher's coming. Like, everybody's coming to fuck me.
Right.
You guys, your job is to sink any boats that come near here. And they're like, would you like a gun, sir? And he's like, oh no, I wouldn't think of using those things. That's your job.
Right.
And they're like, good call, because Taskmaster trained us, and they all start pointing their guns at him.
Oh.
It's like, oh, it's a switcheroo or whatever. I don't know. So,
well, you work for the person that's paying you the most.
So Punisher and Taskmaster fight, and they throw some pithy epithets at each other. You know, I'm trying to remember if there's anything else, but no.
No, it's just a cool fight.
Yeah, it's just a cool fight, and of course Taskmaster knows like all these different fighting styles, and he knows Frank's as well.
Right.
So he's like parrying and using them against him, and
yeah.
Eventually he just kind of like gets the drop on him until Deadpool shows up.
I was gonna say, how does anyone ever beat the Taskmaster in that case?
Right.
It's really hard. You have to, like... The reason why he never beats Deadpool is because Deadpool's too crazy to anticipate.
Ah, interesting.
So, Deadpool drops in with some swords to kill Taskmaster.
Right.
And they fight, and Taskmaster is like, you know, Frank Castle's fighting style was doing a pretty good job of kicking your ass before. So he starts using Frank's moves against Deadpool.
Okay.
And so then the Punisher jumps in to help Deadpool fight Taskmaster. So you've got two Punishers fighting the Taskmaster.
Okay.
And this really like well-executed, like 600-panel grid page where we see like both of them, and I really love the visualization of Taskmaster using or appropriating Punisher's moves, because there's an image of Taskmaster like punching Deadpool, but like superimposed over like the muscles he's using are Punisher's muscles.
So you see
seeing like which
style he's using in a given frame.
Huh.
That's cool. Yeah, like, okay, now he's using Punisher moves, and you got the Punisher shirt.
Yeah.
Here he's
using Deadpool
moves, I guess.
Yeah, because he's like, well, Deadpool did almost kill you, so like I'm gonna use some Deadpool on you, use Punisher on you, and it's pretty cool. It's a really cool fight.
Yeah. He should be called the multitasker.
And then gradually, Deadpool and the Punisher get the upper hand on him.
Yes, and by the way, while Taskmaster was fighting Punisher, he throws his shield, and it gets embedded in the wall, and the kid finds it. And so Punisher and Deadpool knock Taskmaster off the boat. Mm-hmm. Taskmaster catches onto a rope ladder. He's about to climb up when he sees the kid has found him, and he's got his shield. And the kid's like, fuck you. And he just like cuts the rope with the shield. Nice. And Taskmaster falls in the water, and he goes like, well played, kid. Like, nice job. Like, fair enough. You know, like, I'm not going to seek revenge against you. I get it.
Look, credit where credit's due.
Yeah. Oh, you used the shield I murdered your mother with against me. That's fair. That's cool.
I wanna see that entire conversation that we just had as he's slow motion falling and be like, I can't believe I hadn't hit the water yet.
Yeah, wow. I guess I must be in a Deadpool book. So then Frank and Deadpool are like, whew, that was fun. And so Deadpool starts musing about because his memory's all fucked up.
Yeah.
He reiterates the Golden Girls episode from the first issue. And Frank's like, yeah, like I've heard it before.
Yeah, he finishes the story.
The story about Blanche.
Like, and Emma and Jane kept spitting up on everyone as she talked. Yeah, she's a real pig, I hear.
And Deadpool's like, you son of a bitch.
Like, wait a minute, you know the end of that episode because you heard me talking about it.
Yes. So then
or you're a giant Golden Girl.
Right. Either way, I'm going to shoot you in the face. So then Deadpool breaks out a gun and shoots Frank in the face.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, you've been using my short-term memory against me by fucking killing me.
Yeah.
Then he reveals, in an earlier fight, I remember there was a detail that Taskmaster drops when he's fighting Punisher, about how Taskmaster does not like using guns. But when he does, he uses really, really, really light guns that shoot like darts and pellets and like poison shit.
Okay.
So like he doesn't use like full bullet guns.
Right.
Okay.
And so the gun that Deadpool uses is a gun that shoots like a bullet or a pellet that penetrates the flesh, that bounces off the skull, rides the like circumference of the skull, and then fires out the back. So it tricks the reader into thinking that Punisher Deadpool, the Punisher got shot in the head.
But really, he got shot in like the scalp.
Yes. And he says he got the idea from like a Denny O'Neil comic, which I was like, really? Good name drop. And he got the idea from like a Denny O'Neil, Dennis Cowan comic. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what issue that was. And I know that Denny O'Neil worked with Dennis Cowan on The Question. So I'm like, oh, maybe it was a Question comic. I don't know. I tweeted at Van Lente, but he didn't get back to me. So
that bastard.
I know. I'm sure someone in the comments will call me a fraud for not knowing which issue it was.
Right.
It's like that, the guys in, damn it.
No, take your time. So then the tables are turned. Then Frank wakes up from like almost being killed.
But he does not recite a Golden Girls episode.
No. But everyone on the boat is dead. And so you've got the bank, the boy, and Deadpool. And Deadpool's like, yeah, so there was a coup, and I killed all those guys who were going to kill my friend. Mm-hmm. And here's the deal. This guy is a dick. But he's my friend, and his son didn't do anything wrong. Mm-hmm. And his son doesn't deserve to have his father murdered in front of him. His mother was murdered in front of him.
Right. He's had enough.
He's had enough.
Yeah.
And I know that you think he deserves punishment, but the fact is the kid doesn't. And killing him will only hurt the kid.
And you can't punish the kid like this.
Right. And Punisher's like, no, I can't. I don't give a shit. And so Punisher's like, no, fuck you. So he goes and he shoots at Deadpool, but it's empty. And Deadpool's like, yeah, I didn't leave a gun on you that was going to have bullets in it. And then Deadpool goes to shoot Punisher, and he's out of bullets too. And then they have that scene from that movie where they all grab guns, and they're all out of bullets.
Yeah.
Desperado.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, it worked! I remembered something.
So Deadpool and Punisher rip off Desperado, and they don't shoot at each other until finally Punisher does find a gun with some rounds in it, and he starts shooting at him. And they wind up getting into a fight that leads into like the gold vault, where they have like all the money that's backed up.
Right.
Also the Ark of the Covenant is there. So
what?
That's nice.
Yeah, nice touch.
That's a little Easter egg.
So
all right,
top men.
Yeah, they fall into it. The bank opens up this huge hole in the ground.
Yeah, the vault is beneath them.
And unfortunately, it's not filled with coins.
No.
Well, I mean, if it was, they would just swim in it.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
That would be sweet. Good homage.
Actually, it would be hilarious if Deadpool swam and Frank
Punisher
just
could
hit it.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. Impractical, though. How do you measure whose coins they are? Anyway, so Punisher and Deadpool fight, and they hurl insults at each other, and Deadpool's like, maybe like there was a time when you weren't like this. Like you got to remember like what it was like to be like a dad and stuff. And Punisher basically says that he was never not this. That like he was like this when he was a kid. He was like this at the war, and then when he came home, he pretended that he wasn't this. But like there was always going to be something that made him into like a psycho murderer.
Okay.
Which is an interpretation I'm not really a big fan of.
Yeah.
So it looks like Deadpool is totally going to eviscerate the Punisher. And so
he finally got the upper hand.
Yeah, finally
he's on top of him.
He's on top. He's going to stab him. And the Punisher's about to call him a motherfucker.
Yeah.
He says, "You mother." And Deadpool says, "Did you say Martha? Is your mom's name Martha? That means we have to stop fighting now because our moms' names are the same."
It does not say that.
This changes everything. Oh my God, we're friends now. And then he just lies down. And Punisher's like, I don't know if you're doing a bit or not.
Are you doing a bit?
Like, he goes, do you even know? Like, do you even know the difference between a bit and reality?
Right. That's fucking awesome.
So Deadpool just like descends into metatextual fanboying, and he's just screaming about Martha's.
Right.
This is fantastic.
And so then the bank is like, screw both of them. I'm going to kill him with gold bars. So he's going to push a button that like, I guess dumps gold bars on top of him.
Yeah, there's like a crane overhead.
With a giant pallet of bar. No, that would crush a lot of it.
Right.
Yeah, that
would
kill him.
And the kid is like, you can't do that. That's like you betraying the one guy who actually like saved both of us.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, fuck them both. Like I defended Deadpool because like he was useful and like because he could kill me and I didn't have an upper hand. But now I do, so screw them both.
Right.
And the kid is
find
like
a new mercenary.
Yeah. And the kid's like, that sucks. So then as the bars are about to fall, because Punisher says like, my mother's name was Louise. And Deadpool's like, oh, well then that changes everything. Fuck you. And so Deadpool's about to kill Punisher when the gold bar is about to fall on top of them, and the kid calls out to Uncle Deadpool to watch out. And so the both of them move out of the way of the gold bars.
Okay.
And then they both just get up and then face the banker, and then they both shoot the banker in the face with guns.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, they do.
Hey, remember what I said about not killing the banker?
Well,
he just tried to kill him, so...
Exactly.
So the kid just got his father killed.
Yes. And so then Deadpool's like, okay, so this is really fucked up, and I get that. But think of there's a lot of really, really good people out there who don't have dads.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Spider-Man, or Barack Obama, or Spider-Man.
Sweet.
Ronald McDonald. He's just making stuff up. Barack Obama has a dad.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, Frank is like, I need the number, like the master account number, so that I can delete the records of all these people. So I can like delete the finances, because like no one's running this vault.
Right.
And this is like the collateral for all these money that's out there. So I need the account number that's going to fuck up all these criminal organizations that your dad was running. And the kid's like, why would I ever help you? And he's like, because like Otherwise, everyone died for no reason.
Right.
So the kid tells him the number, and Frank's like, okay, well, I will use that number in a minute, but I am going to fucking pass right the fuck out. So he just falls asleep. And Deadpool is like, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is why it's better to have a healing factor. Because earlier they had a fight where he's like, don't you wish you had a healing factor? And Punisher's like, no, make me sloppy.
Right. If I get hurt, I learn from that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then Deadpool and the kid are talking, and the kid's like, Uncle Deadpool, I think I'm going to be a supervillain. And Deadpool's like, yeah, well, that makes sense. But before we wrap up here, can you tell me where the hell we are?
And it pans out, and they're just in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, on this offshore oil refinery.
Then Deadpool pops up in the...
Yeah, that's all, folks. So that's it. Punisher vs. Deadpool by Fred Van Lente and...
All right.
Yeah, and Perez. It's
that's fun.
Yeah,
it's a fun book.
Yeah,
it's a little reference to Batman v Superman.
Yeah, wow. Like, first of all, I guess that's funny. Secondly, way to date your book.
Yeah.
And thirdly, how out of left field. Like, it's so bizarre.
That is very strange.
So it's
they really wanted to
stick it to
comment
Batman
on
vs.
that.
Superman. Yeah.
What better character than Deadpool to make that point?
It's true.
It is weird, though.
It's very weird. And,
it's a self-destruct code for all the accounts.
Yeah, it's to sink the money into the ocean, I guess.
Yeah. Why would you ever have that?
Well, because... Yeah, right.
Oh my god, there's a goddamn golden gun in this thing, and it's like a golden AK-74.
Yeah!
Which just reminds me of all those assholes playing Call of Duty.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I prestiged like 5 times. I get fucking...
I'm going to keep it in the
gold
vault.
on my gun.
Anyway, I think you're going to get basically this version of Deadpool in that movie. Like,
Yeah.
I've noticed that this is like the movie version of Deadpool,
Yeah, it
basically.
seems to be.
There's many different versions of Deadpool over time. Like, there's the straight up mercenary who's kind of funny. Then there's the fourth wall breaker. And then there's like the like hard, fucking serious Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe Deadpool. Like, there's a lot of different versions. This is more like the movie version, who's like a good blend. And has like a soft spot for kids. Yeah. And I really like that. I found the story enjoyable. I hope you did too. If you did, you can go to the description box below this video and grab a copy of it, which I'll make available. It should be cheap, and it's fun, it's short, and, it's cool.
There's a little bit of fourth wall breaking.
Yeah, but not too much.
But not a lot.
Not such where it's like, it sucks.
It's more just Deadpool being ridiculous at times.
Yeah.
Like, he's being silly.
Yeah, he's being silly.
Yeah, I like this version of Deadpool. He's not obnoxious as hell, like I imagined.
Right.
He's not breaking everything like he was when it's like Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe or Deadpool kills literature.
Yeah.
And like there's rules.
Right.
Like he has a weakness in his short-term memory.
Yeah.
When he gets shot in the head, like that's cool. Because like my problem with Deadpool is always like, oh well, you can't.
Yeah, Deadpool versus anybody, he wins.
Yeah, he's just gonna win because he's impossible to kill.
Right.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But this is like, no, this is cool. There's like actual tension in this.
I agree.
Yeah.
And you see like some different ideologies. Like it's fun. You get these two killers together and have them kill him.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. This version of Frank, I'm not a huge fan.
No, I don't like it, but I don't blame Van Lente for going to that conclusion. And it makes him a proper foil for Deadpool. Like you need a straight man.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that he's just relentless in his task.
Yes. Yeah, he's just like, I'm doing this. I just need this account number.
Right.
I just have to stop all of this.
Right.
And I'll kill people to stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's cool.
No, don't kill him. So, it'll punish the boy. You understand? I
don't care.
Yeah.
I need to kill him.
And
that I buy. You know that.
Yeah, that makes sense for the Punisher.
Yeah,
especially in that moment. It's just like, no, I get that you don't want me to kill him because it's cruel to the kid, but suck it up.
Right. I also do like I like the use of Taskmaster in this. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially with the goons.
Yeah.
He hired all of us.
Yeah. No, the goons are great.
I've never seen Taskmaster before, and it's like, okay, he's kind of cool.
Yeah, he is cool. When used properly, he's great, and when he's not used properly, it's like fine.
Yeah.
But he's still great.
But man, is he goofy looking.
Yeah. He looks like a hodgepodge of different ideas.
He is. He's like Dr.
And he
Doom
is.
a little bit. And he's like...
Yeah, he's got the Dr. Doom cloak and buttons.
Yeah.
He's got the skull face, and he's got the cap shield, and he's got the, like...
Moon Knight, like, cloak.
It's... Yeah.
Interesting. Is he wearing a mask?
Yeah,
or
it's a
does
mask.
he have a skull face?
No, he's wearing a mask.
Okay, because there's no nose.
No.
I guess his nose is like under that.
Yeah, he pushes up against it, I guess.
Or like maybe it's not like a cloth mask. Maybe it's a rigid mask and it just sits out.
Yeah, it just sits in front of his face.
Also because like the skull mouth never opens.
No, well,
Right.
we do see it open once in a while, and it could be that it's on like bands or something.
Okay,
Yeah,
it could be hinged.
It's got a little motor.
Yeah.
You mean like a Chewbacca mask?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sure, like that.
Anyway, thanks a lot for watching this episode, and hey, don't forget to check out Deadpool 2, and we'll be doing a video where I'll review it. I'm looking forward to that because movie looks dope.
Yeah.
So I
I'm
can't
excited.
wait. Yeah, right. All right.
All right.
Well, see you then. Bye.